Welcome to this explainer on the architecture of extraordinary success. You know, every single day, literally thousands of people wake up with these incredibly big dreams. Some dream of starting a business from scratch, others are chasing ultimate financial freedom, and some even want to just change the world entirely. But the reality? Only a tiny percentage ever actually make it happen. So we're going to look at a really simple guide explaining exactly how these extraordinary companies actually start, grow, and eventually thrive. It really forces us to ask a huge question. Why do some build empires while others just stay average? I mean, we usually assume it's just raw intelligence, right? Or hitting the jackpot with luck, or starting out with a ton of cash. But looking at the source material, the real difference isn't actually any of those things. It's a highly specific combination of mindset and discipline. It's that sheer willingness to keep pushing forward when absolutely everyone else just throws in the towel.
Okay, let's dive into this simple six-part roadmap. We're looking at the foundation of vision, compounding daily actions, reframing failure as feedback, building value before wealth, the ownership mindset, and finally, the discipline advantage. This is basically the complete life cycle of how successful companies are actually built.
Section 1. The foundation of vision, starting with a bold idea.
Think about it. Before any successful company existed, it wasn't some massive corporate entity. It was literally just an idea. Someone took a moment to imagine a better future, or they figured out a clever solution to a really nagging problem. Vision allows entrepreneurs to see massive opportunities where everyone else just sees roadblocks. And this is the absolute bedrock of the entire process. Because without this initial vision, there's no direction. And without direction, well, there's no progress. Every single great empire we see today started with just one bold idea pointing the way forward.
Section 2. Compounding daily actions, or success one day at a time.
Now this brings us right into the messy reality of execution. We all love to sit back and admire the polished, finished business empire, don't we? But we almost never see the grinding, completely unglamorous hard work that built it. And this brilliantly illustrates that founders just don't succeed overnight. Step 1, they read and learn. Step 2, they inevitably make mistakes because, hey, if you aren't messing up occasionally, you're probably not trying hard enough. And step 3, they overcome those mistakes, letting those small, hard-won lessons compound daily into massive achievements over time. It's like a snowball effect.
Section 3. Reframing failure as feedback, learning from the struggle.
So as you're taking those compounding daily actions, you are going to hit a wall. Most founders face tremendous struggles before finding any real success. We're talking lost investments, totally failed products, harsh rejection. It hurts, for sure. But what's really interesting here is how it completely redefines a word we're usually terrified of. Failure is not the end. It's simply information that helps you make a better decision next time. Great founders don't just quit when a product flops. Instead, they transform that pain into practical data by asking one incredibly powerful question: what can I learn from this?
Moving on to Section 4, building value before wealth, the real secret to scaling.
Look, a lot of people start a business just to chase money. And sure, maybe they make some quick profits. But to truly scale a business from a struggling startup into a lasting empire, you absolutely have to focus on improving people's lives. Let's compare chasing money versus chasing value. When you chase value, when you're actively solving meaningful problems and building deep trust, your customers are actually going to reward you for it. A quick cash grab rarely lasts, guys. The fundamental rule here is super simple. Money always follows value.
Section 5, the ownership mindset, thinking for tomorrow.
Let's see how this builds, because this is the crucial mindset shift you need for lasting growth. It's literally the exact shift that turns ordinary workers into extraordinary leaders. Notice the difference here. An employee focus is all about today's tasks, just checking off the daily boxes. But an owner focus? That's constantly looking at tomorrow's opportunities. Owners are the ones who relentlessly ask, how can we improve? How can we innovate? How can we serve our customers better? This specific ownership mindset changes absolutely everything about how a company operates from the inside out.
And finally, Section 6, the discipline advantage, the secret to lasting success.
Sustaining that empire once you've built it really comes down to one hard truth. Motivation is completely temporary, but discipline, that is permanent. Being a disciplined builder means adhering to a really strict set of daily commitments. You show up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. You improve every day, and you absolutely refuse to let temporary emotions decide your future. Sticking to this list becomes a founder's greatest long-term competitive advantage.
So the crucial point is this quote right here. Successful people don't work only when they feel inspired. If you're just waiting around for a burst of inspiration, you're going to fail. Relying on inspiration means you're relying on a totally fleeting emotion. But relying on relentless discipline, working because you made a rock-solid commitment to your vision, is exactly how you build an empire.
To bring this all together, just remember this one truth. Success isn't something you find. It's something you build. Every single successful entrepreneur out there took a completely different path. Different industries, totally different products. But they all share the exact same core principles we just walked through. They dream big, they take action, they learn from failure, they create value, they stay disciplined, and they never, ever stop growing. Applying these shared principles day by day is how real growth actually happens.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important question for you. What decision will you make today? The architecture of extraordinary success isn't built in massive overnight leaps. It's built in tiny, consistent steps. Your next great empire, whatever that looks like for you, begins entirely with your very next daily habit. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.